What if I told you that being a follower of Christ didn't really mean Christian? What if I told you that God never chose a religion? Religion is a group of beliefs that they also practice. But what if I told you that the New Testament was poorly translated? People trying to translate were illiterate and didn't write what God had said. What if Jesus came? Would he say what religion is destined for heaven or is destined for hell? The Bible says that predestination doesn't exist. Where you get that belief, and what would God say if you believed in the Trinity? The Bible says nothing about three and one. Come to reality. The church added it to belief with poor studying and translation. I don't know where you people find that notion. The Bible says to love your neighbor as yourself, but Christians are causing a commotion, and they're turning into radicals. If the word terrorism was around back then with the Holy Crusades and with the Pope, wouldn't Christians be called terrorists? It makes peace in the scriptures, and it says to make peace with all nations, but it doesn't say to cause terror and force conversion by the sword. The religion fails to know peaceful acts, but the word says peace instead of violence. If Christians are homophobic, that means Christians don't follow Jesus' words. What if I told you that homosexuality isn't a sin, but believe it's condemned? What if I told you that God is peace? Would you still hate? If you say homosexuality is a sin, then isn't God called a devil, or that he hates people? The clergy make Christianity look like a cult, but the clergy deny it. What if I told you that Christians aren't really Republicans, but they are really communists? They say in Christianity, you are free, but are you really? What if I told you that Christianity forces people to practice or they get punished? If Jesus is God, why do they ignore Numbers chapter 23 verse 19? It states that God has no son and that God has no body. What if I told you that Christians cannot eat pork according to the Old Testament? If God said no pork in Old Testament, then why do they allow it in the New Testament? Well, if Jesus came down to judge us, what would you do if he sent the non-merciful and the non-peaceful to hell? I love Jesus, man. In fact, I love it with my whole heart. What would God do to correct these people?